Lots of thoughts going on, and let's see if I can work and talk again at the same time. Maybe I'll put this over here. Yeah, as I'm pulling my weeds here, I'm thinking about the conversation about psilocybin and mushrooms. You know, that's been recently the topic, and it flared up a little bit with some people. But I just want to share some thoughts, not thoughts from experience with taking shrooms, but thoughts from channeling my higher self and the experience of integration. So the way my higher self is conveying this understanding to me is that you can think of the shroom experience, think of yourself as a 5-story building with your 5 dimensions. What is it? Body, physical, emotional, psychological, intellectual, and emotional, psychological, intellectual, and spiritual. Maybe I've got one of the terms wrong. So that's your 5 dimensions. Okay. The use of the shrooms is going to take you up to the penthouse suite on the top of the building, and you are going to see that everything is in fact one, right? You will have that psychic experience in the 5th dimension. You took the elevator up to the 5th story, the 5th level, and you're looking out on the balcony of that top level. It's a great feeling. I know what it's like to be up in 5D. It's heaven. And it's awesome. All right? And you have an instant psychic expansion in one of your dimensions. Now the problem is that the rest of your body, your other 4 dimensions, they don't see what you're seeing up there on the balcony view. They are downstairs. And in the basement, you have your trauma. And your traumas are screaming from downstairs. What are you talking about, right? So even though your psychic mind will now have the knowledge of all is one and one is all and you are God, but the other 4 dimensions of your being, your physical body, your emotional body, and the psychological body, are not automatically going to know what you have experienced, because these dimensions are separated in our being. So that's where the integration comes in after this wonderful experience of seeing all things as one. So when you come down from your shroom experience, when you come down from upstairs, you're going to have a confrontation with your downstairs, with your emotional body, your nervous system, and it's going to tell you, your emotional body is going to tell you, what do you mean we're all one? What do you mean the rapist and me are all one? See, you have that energy of that violation in your lower dimensions, in your lower bodies, in your nervous system. So now you have to work with this higher dimension of the 5D, with that consciousness, and convince the other 4 dimensions that what you have seen is true, and how to integrate this knowledge of the example of the rapist and the rapee are one and the same. You're going to run into some issues. And that will take time as you lovingly allow each dimension in your body, each energetic body, to be seen, to be felt, to express. You don't have to adopt this 5D knowing, this 5D consciousness for your whole body instantly. It'll take time as you gradually dial down the intensity in your nervous system, right? You have to work with each shadow as you bring this higher consciousness, as you feel this higher consciousness, and feeling it as you try to introduce the new consciousness. Because you have to get your whole body into agreement with that 5D vision, 5D knowing, right? And so that's where that comes in. There is no way to shroom your way around integration. A friend had shared a video about Ram Dass with me, and Ram Dass tried shrooms for 7 years before he understood integration. For 7 years he'd be taking shrooms and he'd enjoy that 5D vision, that opening, that expansion, and then he would come down from upstairs and have to face his basement. And he just said he couldn't maintain the consciousness, right? And you can't maintain the consciousness until you integrate your shadows with that consciousness. And then eventually you will become a whole person where all 5 dimensions, all 5 energy bodies agree with one another. And that is a lifetime endeavor. And I always say there is no deadline for when you have to have this accomplished. You just have to keep gaining awareness, and the awareness is going to get you there in your own time. In your own time. So give yourself lots of grace, lots of gentleness, and you'll get there. You'll get there. So just my thoughts from my higher consciousness of what I imagine the whole shroom trip is all about and what needs to be done afterwards, right? Yeah.